Hello.
Hello. Okay, so since we did a day 1,
Yes.
we should do a day 3.
Yes. Our day 2
Was
Con's
day 3.
Yeah.
So we were at NJ HorrorCon.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Ryan Scott Weber, for inviting us.
Oh yeah. It was a blast.
Inviting me, but whatever.
You just can't get rid of me at this point.
So we were there for the Sunday of the NJ HorrorCon. You apparently did not sleep.
No. Yeah. I didn't. I started getting sleepy at like 7:12 a.m.
And I got up at 7:30.
Yes. So I was like, well, guess we're not sleeping.
Yeah. So we went to go see Abigail.
Yes.
We went to eat. We went to go see Abigail. We shot a review.
Saturday.
Saturday, we put up the review. We came back
it.
here and they were watching a movie or something. I don't remember.
Yeah. What the hell? We did
I don't
something.
remember. We did something. Yeah. So we came back here and I fell asleep because I took sleep meds.
Yes. And I just stayed awake.
You stayed awake, and then I got up at 7:30 and had to wake you up. And you got to sleep in the car.
Yeah, I passed out a little bit on the way to the convention center, sort of.
Because the convention opened, I remember. Thank you, Gerald.
What? Turn off the fucking the avoid toll roads.
If anybody who sees the first video of this, I turned on the avoid toll thing to try to save some money on the way back, and then realized like this was a terrible idea. But everybody, because we put the video up, everybody's like, you gotta remember to turn the toll thing off.
Yeah,
And I was like,
Gerald said it in general chat, and I didn't respond.
Yeah.
And then he messaged it directly to me also, and was like, tell Newt. And I'm like, I know.
We know, we took care of it. So,
no, I appreciate him.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And he bought us dinner tonight,
Yes,
too.
exactly.
So thank you, Gerald. A man of many talents and a gentleman and a scholar.
Yes.
I see any of those things.
Sure, yeah.
We'll go with
yeah.
that. And he's a king.
I mean,
so he's a gentleman.
Yes, exactly.
Like Gentleman Ghost
from
DC Comics.
I can't remember when the last time I had my cane around was, but I had my cane today.
It kept fucking falling over while we were doing stuff, and I was just like, oh my god. So we made the drive up to Edison much quicker this time.
Yes.
You
slept. Which sucked because that was the only sleep that I got until
we got there at like 9:30. The convention started at 10. Thankfully, I did a much smaller setup this time.
Yeah.
So we didn't have as much to set up. And then we did our Sunday. Our Sunday was interesting. Not as busy as Friday.
No.
I sold a couple comics. Mostly sold what was left of the Swamp Zombies and Triple Xmas posters and Blu-rays and stuff like that. You went out and made new friends and everywhere you go. And I had to clarify one thing as well. I apparently in our first video made Fallon look bad.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I didn't. I think that the way that I came off was like she was embarrassed to be with us. Not the case.
She was just not comfortable.
No, I think it was. I think it was. I read it wrong.
Okay.
And I think that in that, like, people said something to me later,
really?
And I was just like, yeah, I guess I do kind of come off like a dick in that situation.
Okay.
And that's not the vibe that I want because obviously I fucking love Fallon.
Yeah.
I want us all to be happy and make shit. And I think telling tales out of school when you don't have, like, text is, like, completely different.
Right.
The context of it isn't there, and then she has to hear about it from people and is like, what the fuck, dude? And I was like, I know, that was on me. That's me being a little bitch. So I apologize about that. But needless to say, people would turn the corner and be like, oh, you're not that girl. And I was like, yeah, sorry.
Okay, you're saying that, and I repeatedly told you that also. We kept, apparently yesterday the volunteers were asked several times where we were.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
Yes. And I told you that like 3 times.
It was kind of funny though when, Dr. Chud from the Misfits was sitting directly behind us.
Yeah.
So directly behind us was John Russo.
Yeah, so, okay, where our table was, there's a big pillar, and there was, like, 4 of us around the pillar. So Dr. Chud was to, like, our right, sort of. And then there was, directly behind us through the
John Russo, who was the writer of Dawn of the Dead. I have a really funny story with him. Like I told you, he wanted me to write the remake of the movie Midnight before realizing that he didn't own the rights to the movie.
Fair enough, I guess.
Whatever. But I got out of that deal. I got both copies of the poster, so I have them, and I always get the theme song to that movie stuck in my head. You're all alone at midnight. And I thought that script was pretty good that I wrote too, but that's just me patting myself on the back. And then to the other side of me was the guys who did all the special effects for Terrifier 2.
Okay, I was saying a lot of Terrifier.
Yeah. And they're busy, but it just turned out that Dr. Chud's friend, I don't know what she was, girlfriend, wife.
The wife?
It was the wife, girlfriend,
like
whatever.
26 years or something, yeah.
Oh, okay. So she's from, she lives in Arizona, and we just got talking about Tucson, and I was like, holy shit, I used to live in Tucson. So he's like, oh my god, I'd love to do the cons there. He really like digging, he was talking about that, and I reached out to
so chill,
Mike Oliveris, who's my friend in Tucson, him and his wife Teresita. Coolest fucking people in the world. Yeah. Tucson has one of my favorite like art scenes ever. Like I fucking love the Peter Leone is a friend of mine. He fucking is the real life Captain America. He's just this blonde haired dude. He's just a giant jacked fucking dude. But he's an amazing filmmaker as well. And I helped Steven Sestelli, who does all my movie posters, did the movie poster for them for their Christmas vampire movie. But yeah, it's just so many fucking cool people in Tucson, and whenever I go out to the Tucson Comic Con, I have so much fun. But I told Dr. Chud, I was like, yo man, like I can put in a good word for you.
Yeah.
And Mike's like, fuck yeah, I'd totally like to have a fucking misfit at my show. But like, so he came over and was asking about like music and movies and stuff like that. And I was telling him how
you guys had a great conversation.
like how I tend to do things with composers in my projects. I work a lot with Protector 101, Jake Freeman, who does used to do a lot of stuff. I don't know if he's going to because he's still connected to Screenwave. Right. But he did so much shit for me over the years. And it all came back to the Sitar Man trailer that I got from Phil Olsen, I believe his name. These two dudes from Ottawa who did the Sitar Man trailer for me for Midnight Show. We couldn't use the Ravi Shankar track that's in it, so we had to find a dude who could do synth music but with a sitar, and we found Jake Freeman at Protector 101. If you've never heard Protector 101 before, well, you probably, if you know my work, you probably have. They did the score for all the Midnight Show shit. They did the score for Paperboy 3. That fucking track is incredible. But there was a John Carpenter issue of Fangoria, and Jake was interviewed in it, and he mentioned Midnight Show, and I didn't know that was a thing, and I pick up Fangoria all the time, and I'm flipping through the fucking pages, and my movie is mentioned in Fangoria, and it was one of those moments where, like, I went, oh my god, like, this is crazy. Right? Like, this is, like, literally fucking crazy that a magazine that I grew up in, like, my bookshelf over there is just fucking full of old Fangoria issues. Like, when you all of a sudden, you're part of a thing that is, like, bigger than life.
I don't know what that's like at all right now.
Well, with the wrestling shit.
That's why, the sarcasm. I'm getting to talk to people very casually that I didn't think that like baffles me a little.
Well, yeah, because you were like, all weekend keeping up with Jason. Yeah. And, and like we said in the first video, like I reached out to some friends of mine who were wrestling fans. I was like, oh, guess who I'm hanging out with? They're like, the fuck you do hang out with him? Like, that's not fair. Why are we hanging out with him?
So chill and sweet. And his fiance, well, very soon to be wife. They're getting married this summer. Which congrats to them. But it was just so nice too, and they were just.
But again, like I said in the first video, like I've been doing cons a long time.
Yeah.
And I like, with the Dr. Chud thing, like.
You got a little starstruck.
I get a little starstruck sometimes because again, we just did a review that'll be coming out soon of The Warriors, and one of the characters in it is also in The Crow, and there's a line in The Crow where he's like, I feel like a little worm on a hook in a big fucking pond or whatever, and that's sometimes how I feel, like a total imposter syndrome sets in because we're surrounded on all sides by like Kane Hodder and characters from Child's Play.
And, oh my god, fuck's his name? He showed up on Sunday, but I don't think it was there on Friday. Michael something, Candyman ? I was trying to remember. I just remember being like, oh shit. Yeah, I'm blanking.
Okay.
Right now, but
Yeah, because the guy
if you guys
Tony
watch
Todd is
our,
came in.
Oh no, now I'm thinking of something else. Then, if you guys watch our Warriors review, I don't know why my brain just shut off today.
Yeah.
So.
But like Kathy Najimy was in our room, and the little kid was T from Hook.
Yeah.
I don't like Hook.
Well, yes.
Thora Birch was in our room and stuff like that. And like I always am in that regard of like I said it on Twitter. I was like I always imagine at these conventions I'm just be staring off into the void, and I'm just taking up a space that someone else could have been in. But like people actually came to talk to us and stuff like that. But again, it's like it's that idea of being around like oh yeah, these people who like I know from pushing a tape into a VCR. Yeah. You know, or pushing play on something, and then there they are, like, yeah, they're right there, you know. Yeah. Kathy Najimy, like, fucking, I love Sister Act more than words. I love King of the Hill more than words, you know. Yeah. You know, so like, so Dr. Chud is right there, and granted, I grew up on the Misfits, man. Like, I fucking, I love, you know, they were one of the first, like, there weren't a lot of like heavy metal. Heavy metal and horror go so well together, but there weren't a lot that embraced like Vampira and shit like that, and you know.
Apparently he wrestled Vampiro.
Oh really? Okay. Because Rob Zombie came around, and there's the Astro Creep, and there's all this like homages to Dr. Caligari and all this kind of stuff. But it was like the Misfits were that first band for me, and there's this dude, and now he wants to talk to me. And that's why at the end of the day,
he just came over and stood in front of our table for a few minutes.
Yeah, and then I was just like, and then until the woman who was the drummer from the Go-Go's came over, and again, like, I'm like, oh my god, it's the drummer from the Go-Go's. Like, don't look at her, like, you know, avert your eyes, peasant. Because again, the Go-Go's are another one of those bands. Like, holy shit, dude! I remember going to Tower Records in the mall with my aunt to buy Go-Go's tapes. You know.
Yeah. But you got to remember, we also had a table there. You know what I mean? You belong. I know. I don't
belong.
Like, you do though. I don't. Or you wouldn't have had a table.
Yeah, because we're the indie film quota. You know.
Okay, too bad. You're like part of it now.
Okay,
you
but
just have to accept it.
It's weird for me. It's very weird because I don't believe that everything. Like I said to fucking Dr. Chud,
I'm even less well known than you are. I get it.
You're more well known.
I am most certainly not.
You will be.
I will be
become a wrestler, or you are a wrestler, but you know.
Yes.
But like no, he was asking like if I was like, well, but the thing I was like, no. He's like, well, do you give them like the movie in 20-minute increments? And I was like, no, I
depends on what they want.
But I want them to create, and then I'll adapt to what they create because people who are like musicians and artists and like that, they're talented. Yeah. I'm a fucking dude who writes dick and fart and boob jokes and shit with a monster and a pun title that I pat myself on the back over. But like the other people are like the creative ones. You know, like 2 people came up to me at the convention and they were like, you know, you're nothing without Crystal and Justin, is what they said to me. And I was like, you're right. You know, I haven't done anything of merit without certain people, you know, but it's like, it's that idea that like,
you would have made those without them anyway.
I know I would have.
They were the people in your life.
Yes.
So they were the ones who had that. You gotta stop doing this.
But I'm just saying,
you are creative. You create things regularly. You created things that are out. You are in the process of creating more things. You create things. I know. You cannot stop creating things.
I know. Like, I wish I could. I genuinely,
so you're fucking creative.
I genuinely wish I would just stop trying to have ideas. My life would be so much easier if I just stopped trying to have ideas.
But you do.
Okay.
So you are a creative. I know what you mean, but you are a creative.
Okay, sure. But there are people who are actually talented.
Okay, are you gonna say this to the face of everyone who's like, you changed my life?
No, because it was again. We had the dude who was at the thing who was like, I was on he was on a ship during COVID for the Navy, and we watching the Hack the Movies videos got him through that and got him through a depression and stuff like that.
That's what I mean. Like, you create things and you impact people's lives for the positive, and that is worth something.
I know, I get it. I understand, but I'm a clown. You know? No, it is like no, it is though, because it's like, oh my God, you just so happen to settle on a thing that the analytics smiled onto.
That's everybody.
I know, but it's just like, anybody could have filled that other spot.
Yeah, but they didn't. You did.
I know, but I'm just saying, like...
Oh my God.
I
Fine. Just... I know I'm not winning this.
All right, but I'm just saying, like, I had major imposter syndrome all weekend. And
it's good. You got to hang out with these people.
I did get to hang out and talk to people, and I did eventually get to do a loop around the thing and saw my friend Brian Du Bois in his book. I didn't know he was there. Like, this is a guy who's like, he's a teacher, and he shapes young minds, but he also writes his books and stuff like that. And like, but again, like the person walked up to me and said, "You're nothing without these people." And I was like, yeah, you know what? Like, talented people have shaped all of the art that I've ever made. You know, like conversations that, like, when we film, you and I will have conversations, and the conversations are always twinged by your insight, and that is an overlying thing, and I believe in that in all of it. But when it comes to like people who are like super talented, like, you know, like I said, Jake Freeman, Protector 101, or like Tony DeBartolus, who builds the monsters and stuff like that.
They have no inspirations whatsoever, is what you're saying.
No, they are inspiration.
Okay.
I become inspired by how talented they are, and then desperately try to raise my game to them.
And everybody does that.
I don't know, but I mean, some people just are like naturally so fucking good at what they do, and their outsider art is so strong that they don't need to do that. You know, when I work with certain actors or actors, like Fallon, like when I work with Fallon, I always feel like I need to prove something because I have this talented, beautiful person who's slumming it to come work in something that I wrote. I need to then elevate my game, you know, and it's always been the same. Like, I go back and I watch things, and I'm like, man, like, I know where the inspiration was. Most of the time, I know the inspiration is, what can I talk my friends into?
Right.
I have one general idea, and that overlays the entire thing. I want to get to this one bit. I want to get to, in Gorilla, I want to get to Crystal in the shower scene. I want to get to whatever. You know, I want to get in Nunchucks. I want to get to the scene where you're topless and my blood sprays on you or something like that. But it's just like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, but then other, like, actually talented people come in and take my dumb words and turn them into something tangible. Like, I went over to, we were across from Felicia Rose, and I'm going to tell this story, and I'm probably going to get emotional about it. Felicia Rose from, you know, Terrifier 2 and Hatchet and obviously Sleepaway Camp. You know, she is in Triple Xmas, and she is in Cold of Blood. I co-wrote Cold of Blood with Robbie of Crude Cinema, and I missed her by a couple days for Triple Xmas because I had to come back here to work. But so there was some YouTube, Instagram or Twitter post or something like that where you know, British blogger guy and somebody else were calling me a plagiarist, and I've never had an original idea and this and that. And then just out of random happenstance, Felicia Rose posted a thing about the script for Cold of Blood, and I said, "Oh, I co-wrote that," and she said, like, "Oh my God, I fucking loved your words."
Yeah. And
with everything that was going on at that time, with all of the people who were like, "You're a plagiarist, you're a piece of shit, you've never done anything, you're nothing without these people," for somebody in the horror community who is as beloved as her to go to bat for that, it literally, like, I remember when I got that tweet, I was sitting in the box office at the Narva Theater, and I literally started bawling my eyes out.
Yeah.
Because I was like, granted, for all I know, I got paid for this project. I need to promote this project. It's fucking Hollywood, whatever. But just to say that meant the fucking world to me, because I remember where I was to the day when I saw Sleepaway Camp for the first time in 1991. You know, and it's just shit like that to then have somebody who, again, like, we're sitting in that room, they're right there. You know, and that's the shit that's wild to me, that, like, we live in an age now where I can get in contact or work with the people who meant so much to me when I was a kid and when I was becoming a horror fan and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, we're in that world. You know, I have 9 fucking features coming out for the rest of this year that I was a writer on, that I wrote with, you know, with Robbie or somebody else for something, you know, or Donald Farmer projects or something like that. And it's like, oh yeah, I mean, you are in that world. I've done little things, and there's been famous to me people who've worked on those things. And I that's the shit that I need to keep reminding myself of, instead of being like, well, that like the Reddit people and those type of people that are like, you're a piece of shit and you're not actually anything. They're the loudest ones, because they play to that thing inside my head that goes, yeah, see, you aren't actually anything. You are wasting a table space.
If your words were that dumb, Felicia Rose wouldn't have openly and publicly.
I know, and that
not dumb.
meant a lot to me, man. Like, I can't, and I told somebody else that who's a, they're an artist. They're another writer who believes that horror is the lowest common denominator and all that kind of shit. And they were talking shit about.
Just ask for your address. That's what I'm doing.
They were and I was just like, yeah, but like, this means a lot to me. There's a lot of movies that I think are special that other people would frown upon. I'm sorry that not everything I'm into is Fellini,
right?
And all that kind of stuff. Like, I love garbage. Like, but one man's garbage is another man's gold. And you look around my apartment at the things I have, and it's like, these are the I know. Yeah, my Lady Frankenstein movie fell down.
Lady Terminator.
Lady Terminator. Yeah. Lady Frankenstein is a movie as well.
No, I figured. That's why I was like, I don't want people.
Well, it's actually Frankenstein created woman, but no, Lady Frankenstein as well. Lady Frankenstein was not Elkie Summers. That's Baron Blood.
Okay.
But yeah, so
yes,
regardless. But no, like, so going to these things is always kind of like, I always feel weird, because I don't feel like I belong. Because again, like, Fallon took our spot for a day. She's been in like real shit. She has things to sign and like pictures and stuff like that, and I just kind of like collected up. I was like, well, we sold out of all of the ash cans, so I had more printed up, and then I had a couple copies of like the Midnight Show poster left, and the River Mummies, which never got made, poster left. But I was like,
by the time we left, we were down a lot of that.
Yeah. Because I give them out to people, like, and all that kind of stuff.
Want them.
No, yeah. Well, the artwork is beautiful. See, again, Steven Sestelli's artwork is absolutely beautiful. And he's one of those guys that I met when I used to work at Hall of Heroes in the mall and stuff like that. I worked with Mark Polton, and I wrote the Ma'am comic with him. I wrote the screenplay for the CW movie show with Mark Polton. And he's gone on to be, he's a UPS driver, started his own comic book, he's gone on, now he's a comic book publisher with his son, There's like, I love actually talented people when they like are clicking on all cylinders, and I feel like I'm kind of a like a potpourri kind of guy, not like my chips at the diner we went to.
Yeah, this did very much look like potpourri.
It did look like potpourri. But like, I just collect random stuff and throw it together and just see what sticks, But again, I've been very lucky over the years that the reason I get to do conventions and shit like that is because at different times in my life, very, very talented people were involved in the things that I made. And some stuck around, and I respect the fuck out of the people who stuck around. And I respect the fuck out of the people who left, and you could take people like, like Justin Silverman. Was the editor on so many Midnight Show things and made them look and sound like 70s and 80s exploitation. Yeah. Joe Lascola, who from Movie Dumpster, used to work with me, the Pokemon trailer and the creature feature thing, and I was in his Field of Screams thing. Like, these people who've got Crystal, who was in so many of the fucking things that I did, as an actress and as a producer, like, all of these people come on and they added something to my idea and made it better. And even though the people who are working with us, like, they continue to do those things, I'm just the guy in the middle who had an idea, and
what if it wasn't good, people wouldn't sign on to it.
Some people are just like, I need something to do. Or,
sure, but that's not everybody.
This little fuck pays,
Yes, I'm sure you're the only one who pays. They did not care about your idea at all. Obviously, that's what they said.
Yeah, so. Well, afterwards, exactly. Yes, yeah. Many of them have said all of your ideas were terrible, but what you paid. So we're sitting in the room, and that was like a weird thing. But to talk to Dr. Chud was really fucking mind blowing to me because, great. Again, like, cool. As such a fan growing up, I was trying to be cool about it. You know, and
he succeeded. You guys like legitimately seem to connect on the
Yeah,
musical
and,
level. He respects the way you look at music, I can tell.
yeah.
And the fact that you respect all the different moving parts
Mhm.
of things, and it's not just you trying to tell your story the way you want to do it.
No, again, like we were talking about in the Warriors one, like that era of New York is a living organism. Any form of art, when combined with other things, you're creating a Voltron,
Exactly.
basically, and the music sets the tone and the mood for it. And art and an actually creative person needs to be free to explore that space. And yeah, so I got him hooked up with the Tucson stuff. So hopefully we'll be out there and
Hell yeah.
this summer and fall and hang out with him again and his wife, girlfriend, super cool. So yeah, man. Sunday was fun and interesting and different. And then afterwards, we all went out to the Edison Diner.
Yes.
And we teamed up with your friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
People I collected. Oh right, the fangs. I want to like promote their fangs because their fangs are really solid.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting it. I have their thing somewhere in here.
He looks like, so the dude, we all went out Friday night to Applebee's, like we said in the thing. We didn't intend to go to Applebee's. I was all the way at the end, boxed in, and because of my knee, I can't go up and over things. I have to go around because I can't pivot my knee. But when I got up to go to the bathroom, because the meds I was on, everybody ordered food, so I didn't get to eat anything. But
totally thought
this gentleman who creates fangs, he looks like Justin Daniels, who's my Florida man, basically. He's one of my muses, you know, one of my genuinely favorite people in the entire world. What are they called?
Get Fanged.
Get Fanged.
Yeah, that's what it was. Horror Show Jack. Okay, there we go.
And then who's the girl with him?
Well, there was Courtney, and then there was do you mean the
girl was with him with the braids?
Yes, that was Courtney.
Courtney. Courtney's awesome. Yeah. Courtney's the one who asked me. She's like, "So you're the plagiarism guy?" And I was like, "Oh no."
Yeah, Horror Show Jack Fang Smith.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, we can put that up if you want. Yeah, his info. They're on Instagram and Facebook.
Go check them out on Instagram and Facebook. Let them know that Schlock and All Films sent them.
I will eventually get fangs from them.
Well, no, because I told him money. I have several vampire things that I'm working on.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, if I can get you involved in this, I'd love to because he was really fucking funny. Yeah. And we actually got a chance to talk at the diner for the first time.
You guys hit it off.
We hit it off great. Yeah, we got on like a fucking house fire. And then who were the other two?
The other two, I want to make sure because I think I got two different names for one person, and I don't know if one of them should be publicly shared.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
She had a spiderweb boob tattoo.
Yes,
which I noticed.
They were. Oh my god, I have them on Twitter. Hold on. I'm like going all over the place.
And he had a beautiful like shaved head, but with the long hair.
I think I caught his name was Liam, and I noticed that because.
Yeah.
Well, you know
I was like, I wish my hair would still do that.
Professional slut. Same. Hold on.
I'm a professional slut.
What? Open the fucking. It's fine. Okay. Well, I have their name is Blaze here.
Okay, Blaze.
I don't know if they went by anything else.
Oh
but
my.
Yes.
Saw a boob.
Yes. They. Yeah. No. They're.
But yeah, they were super cool. Yeah, and really attractive. And they both were like very attractive. You know. So we went to the diner and hung out with them for a while and had some really funny conversations. That's when I was in the men's room and I'm in the stall and Too Hot to Handle On Our Own comes on and I'm peeing. I went, ooh, and the guy in the stall next to me goes, huh?
That was also great because then you came out to tell us about it, but the music is quieter outside.
Yeah.
So like, guys, this song, and we all go silent to like.
Too.
We all go silent, like trying to hear it, and it's like.
Yeah.
Like, ever so slightly.
But then myself and the guy, the Justin Daniels guy, the fan guy, we started talking about the Ghostbusters 1 soundtrack and all that kind of stuff. So no, they're really good people. And
we intended to get my Frechette put back in.
Yes, we forgot. You were like, when we leave the diner, what do you think if we go and get my vagina re-pierced? And I'm like, whatever.
Yeah,
when in Rome, when in Edison.
Yep, because here it is. This fell out. in like December, and I still haven't gotten it put back in. But I carry it around with me all the time in case I spontaneously decide to get it put back in.
In Edison, New Jersey.
In Edison, New Jersey.
As Thomas Edison would have wanted. But
yeah,
you know,
like,
so that...
are you fine with that? Like, are you comfortable with that? And you're like, I don't care.
I don't care. Let's get weird with it, dude.
Right.
But no, so that was our
Yep.
New
And then
Jersey
we
Horror
drove
Con.
back here, and I fell asleep on the drive home. That was all the sleep I got.
Yeah,
for
my phone
a
was pretty
while.
much dead. I sat out here for a while. Then I came back and went to bed. But before that, we were eating combos. And then started watching Death Proof, and then I fell asleep.
You passed out like
I was out,
like that
man.
movie started and you were gone.
I've been so
It's
tired.
good. No,
I
it's
can't
good. You need to
fucking
sleep, my
function.
dude. There was a point I think where I got up, because even still this morning I fell asleep at like 9 a.m. But yeah, I got up. I forget why, and then like you like stop like you don't snarby breathe a little like heavier, and I was like you stopped for a second. I was just like
I died.
I was like I don't want to wake him up. I don't want to wake him up. And then you were like fine. I was like all right, cool.
Well, my landlord texted me at like 9 a.m. and then I was up from that point on.
Okay, yeah. That must have been right after I fell asleep.
Yeah. Because I came out here and then I was texting my mom and stuff like that. Yeah, so that was our New Jersey Horror Con.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of back and forth. It was tiring. But I think the biggest thing I got from it again is stop being like pretend like you belong there. Yeah. And to have more shit, you know. Obviously, this summer when
we'll have
the comic comes out, you know, like I was saying, I was telling the producer of the entire thing, a couple stores have reached out to me, and a couple of people who have like weed places and stuff like that, and a couple other people like, well, can we do something with it? And I was like, reaching out, I was like, oh, these people reach out. He's like, trust me, when we're ready, the money is there that everyone will know this is coming out.
Yeah.
You know, so but I also feel because of my reputation, I need to be like, it's still coming. Don't worry about it. You know, that's just me like trying to be ever present so that people stop.
Not like, oh, he just vanished.
Yeah. But no, I genuinely had a good time, and I was very excited to be asked to be a guest at it. I was excited that we got to share it together because, you know, in the dead times, we just got to sit there and like just BS and stuff like that, you know,
it was great. We were chilling.
Yeah, just chilling. And you know, it's all about.
I got you hot chocolate a couple times.
Oh, your chai thing is in my car still.
Oh, is it?
The cup is still in my car.
Oh, shit.
I'll get that before you leave.
It still has hot chocolate in it, doesn't it?
Probably shouldn't drink that.
I probably shouldn't.
No,
Fuck, their hot chocolate is so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
My
teeth.
Yeah, well, I went to, after my mom left, I went to the bank to go deposit that check, and I was just like,
sitting in the... Well, yeah, because I was going to drink it on the ride home, and then I just
now it's all
out.
fucking congealed. But no, like, I hope they invite us to do more.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of it, man. Like, you know, apologize to Fallon, talk about Dr. Chud, talk about how I felt like an imposter, and then talk about the diner. Like, that was kind of my main takeaways from the main thing. So, if there's any cons in your area and they're looking for people and you think that maybe you could put in a good word for us, let me know. We'll go anywhere. I know that the Akron one changed their name to Akronomicon.
Oh, that's smart.
I was like, that's great.
That's good.
So hopefully we get invited to more just shit like that. Yeah, anything else?
No, I had a good time as well.
Me too.
It was worth the sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
That sounds sarcastic. It was.
No, it totally was. Like, granted, once I finally did fall asleep, like, I was literally comatose.
So good.
But for the most part, like, you know, because I was excited to get there, especially like on Sunday and stuff like that. Yeah. I got up at 7 o'clock and got myself all situated and stuff like that. And then it was just a matter of waking you up and dragging you down the steps and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, wrapped in a carpet.
In a carpet. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you for anyone who did come out to see us, and to anyone who watches these videos. And yeah, we'll keep you posted. I think the next con is in July, and then August, then October, I think. But if we could squeeze in a couple more, we will. And with Shark Exorcist 2 coming out next month, Bigfoot Exorcist and Cold of Blood coming out in June, and then hopefully Florida Man coming out in July. I have more things to kind of push and promote, and at the end of May, that skating rink open, so hopefully I'll have that project
Yes.
going. And last night while you were sleeping, I did all of the stuff that was needed for the Ma'am comic from Mark
Oh,
Poten.
hell yeah.
So I had to do a lot of character breakdowns and shit like
Okay.
that, and send reference photos of people. You know,
Really?
yeah, because the artist needs to know what things need to look like. So
Okay.
the Dark Angel is gonna look like you.
Okay.
Yeah, 90s wrestler with a lucha mask, kind of.
Yeah.
And the back tattoo is wings, but they're like
More like skeletonized.
kind of like skeletal bat wings, but with an exposed spine and stuff like that.
Okay.
And also the cool thing I came up with was, you know, like the stockings that have like the little things.
Yeah.
That's actually like body mods on their legs.
That's
So I
so
thought that
fucking
would be kind of a
cool.
cool thing, because it'd be kind of a cool thing too, like in the book, to like see that, like, while like that's the shot, like the ass and the legs, while looking down at a guy who's coming up the escalator who knows his head's about to get brayed, you know.
Oh, that's
So
fucking cool.
yeah,
Oh
so
my
I came
God.
up with some cool shit for that. And you
I
know,
didn't realize she was gonna be based on.
oh no, yeah. Well, you shaped the script basically,
Yeah.
you know. So I didn't come off as like, you know, that guy Newton I've known for 9 years. Turns out super anti-trans,
Yeah.
and I was just like, not how it was intended.
No, absolutely not.
I don't have enough. I don't like have enough like self anything to be
Yeah.
like against any group of people. You know,
Right.
like I need everyone to like me because I hate myself.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so that's it, guys. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.